Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So I got a chance to check out this Anthony Joshua versus Dominic Breazeale weigh-in. Anthony Joshua comes in at 243 1/4. Dominic Breazeale weighs in at 255. Breazeale slightly heavier than his fight with American Breazeale, a couple pounds over, not much. Joshua's actually slightly under his last fight with Charles Martin. So both these guys are in excellent shape. Ready to go, man. So there will be no excuses. There will be no there'll be no excuses for this fight. That's all I can really say, man. I was watching the Gloves Are Off episode again, and I know that they filmed that like directly after the press conference, so it was a while ago. And I was listening to something Anthony Joshua said. And a lot of fighters, they say this. Some fighters really mean it. Some fighters, well, I won't say some fighters wouldn't mean it, because everybody's objective when they get in the ring is to apply damage to their opponent, all right? But what he said was he just really likes hurting people. I caught that phrase, and I caught that, and I thought about that, because a lot of fighters sometimes, man, they're comfortable with just winning a 12-round decision or 10-round decision or whatever the fight's scheduled for. They're okay with outpointing the guy, and that's cool. And again, if you're in a boxing ring and you're hitting somebody, you're trying to you're trying to hurt them, you know what I mean? But Anthony Joshua, I think what he's saying by when he says he's trying to hurt people, I really believe that he's trying to knock everybody out. Now, I've said before that no matter how hard you can punch, who you are, which area it is, so on and so forth, when you're in there with the top elite level guys, eventually somebody's going to stand up to your power. They're going to take you the distance, so on and so forth. So I'm not here to say that he isn't trying to knock everybody out no more than Deontay Wilder trying to knock everybody out, or Luis Ortiz, or any of the top heavyweights of today. The guys that really go in there looking for knockouts. I don't necessarily think he's going to be, how can I say, overly aggressive looking for the knockout. I don't think that. But I do think that he's going to really try to put the hurt on Dominic Breazeale. I really do. I hope Breazeale is prepared for it. I know when I listened to him and he was breaking down what he thinks is going to happen in the fight, he was talking about the first couple of rounds, just going over what he thinks is going to happen. And then he was talking about the 6th round or 7th round. Then I was listening to AJ, and AJ was pretty much saying he really doesn't feel that this guy's going to make it past the 1st round. He'll be shocked if he does. That lets you know the different mindset of both fighters. I'm not saying it's right or wrong for either guy. I'm just talking about the mindset. One guy is talking about the middle of the fight, and you have another guy talking about really he doesn't think the other guy can get past the 1st round, that he'll be, it would amaze him if he gets past the 1st round. So I guess we'll see what's going to happen, man. All the talking is over come tomorrow night, or here in the States, it'll be evening time. All the talking is going to be over with, man. I'm going to stick with my pick stylistically, and I think this is going to be a fight of power punching. I really do. Now, if this was Tyson Fury, Luis Ortiz, somebody that can mix it up with the back foot game and can be very effective, then I may have a different opinion on it. But I do think Breazeale is going to try to use his size to dominate this fight. Like I've seen him in every fight, try to use his size to dominate. I've seen him get pressured before by smaller fighters, guys who I don't think has as much power as Anthony Joshua. And I think that since I've seen Breazeale get pushed back by American Breazeale, Aguilera. Not bad fighters. I'm not calling them trash or they're bad fighters. No, those are good, solid opponents for contenders to fight and for up-and-coming prospects to get in there with, because they may lose. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen, but I've seen those guys pressure Dominic, make him back up, get him against the ropes. But I've also seen Dominic endure all of that and come and win the fight, come back and win the fight. Now, the Amir Mansour fight, I agree. I thought Mansour was winning. With Mansour getting his jaw busted up, or he clamped down on his tongue and he bit his tongue off and he couldn't breathe. All that shit was due to Breazeale putting hands on him, man. It wasn't like Mansour was just sitting there and just, you know, bit down on his own tongue and they had to stop the fight. It was because he had this other man in front of him applying, you know, hitting back. So however it happened, and Breazeale's hand was raised at the end of the fight, okay? Whether you want to call it a freak injury or not. Even Mansour came to say that, like, hey, his hand was raised at the end. I got to give him his credit. So I'm going to give him his credit as a fan. All right, he got off the canvas and he fought back. He could have easily stayed on the canvas, Breazeale, and said, you know what? This Amir Mansour dude is too much for me. He got his ass off the canvas and he fought back. So I'll give him that. But different dynamics in this fight, man. Breazeale's the bigger guy, but not significantly bigger like he is against other guys. This fight, okay, he has a inch in height. He has what, 11 pounds, 12 pounds advantage, but it's not significant. At least it doesn't seem that way. I think Joshua is a very, very strong fighter. Both of these guys, if you ask me, are still climbing up the ranks. I know it's for a title shot. I understand that. Joshua will win this fight. There's still more out there to be proved. It's not like since he beat Breazeale, now all the questions are answered. I don't believe that. It will answer a question if he went in there with a guy that was taller than him and way more than him and came to win. If he wins the fight, I will give him that. But there's still more questions to be answered. Some Deontay Wilder questions, some Joseph Parker questions, some Tyson Fury questions, some Luis Ortiz questions. There's a lot of other questions to be answered. Just my final thoughts on this fight, man. I know I'm all over the place, but all the talking ends tomorrow anyway. So what I feel and what I believe is going to be irrelevant here shortly. I'm going to go with Joshua, man, by knockout. I'm going to say I don't think it goes past 5. But we'll see what Breazeale brings to the table. I could be wrong, man. Hopefully he proves me wrong. Hopefully this shit goes 12 rounds. You know what I mean? The more boxing for me. You know what I mean? But I just think Joshua's mindset is different, man. I think he's coming gunning for the knockout. I'm not sure Breazeale is going to be ready for that onslaught. I'm just not sure, man. And he's putting a lot of faith on his chin. You know, he told Joshua that you can hit me with the same shot you hit Charles Martin with repeatedly, over and over and over and over and over again. I'm not going down. And if I do go down, I'm not going to get up smiling at the ref. Fair enough. You know, fair enough. That's what he feels. That's what he believes. But I don't know, man. I'm not sure Breazeale's the guy that can get hit over and over and over and over again by Anthony Joshua. I'm not sure there's too many heavyweights that can just get hit over and over and over and over and over again like that without hitting the canvas and going to sleep or having the ref pull him off of you. Then you're going to have to make him miss over and over and over and over and over. I would rather make him miss than want to test my chin to see if the power is real. You know? Again, I don't think Anthony Joshua's going to knock every single body he gets in there with out. I don't believe that. If he finished his career with knocking everybody out, shit, more power to him. But just history and me watching fighters, and 2 of my 5 favorite fighters of all time were huge KO artists, Foreman and Tyson. So I've seen those guys have to go the distance in their prime and past their prime. I've seen it happen. You know, so going AJ in this fight, man. I'm out.